All right, so for this next assignment, it is called a shadow contrast assignment, and it's pretty straightforward, okay? Um, what we're going to do is we're first going to watch this video on contrast, and we will do that as a class. Once we have finished watching that video, we're going to go over the actual assignment. So your assignment is going to be showing how shadows contrast each other. And basically, we're going to do this very simply with a simple shadow massing drawing. So what a shadow massing drawing or shadow contrasting drawing is essentially you're going to take an image and you're only going to draw the shadows, all right? So we're going to only have highlights and shadows, darks and lights. That's it. We're not overly concerned about all the tiny little details. We're going to break this image down into its shadows, okay? So you are going to need your 18 or 12 by 18 paper, all right? 12 by 18. That's the medium size paper. On that 12 by 18 paper, you are going to draw a 2-inch by 2-inch grid, and I'm going to demonstrate for you guys how to do that. And I'm going to do that in a separate video, and then I'm going to do it live in class. So you guys are going to draw a 2-inch by 2-inch grid on your 12 by 18-inch paper. Then once you're done doing that, you are going to transfer over the shadow image from the paper that I gave you, and I'll look at that in a second. Here's the standards, okay? Now our objective is it says students will create a 2-inch grid, 2-inch by 2-inch grid, and then transfer over just the shadows from the image onto their paper. Once students have drawn out the shadows, they will demonstrate the element of art contrast by coloring their drawing in either black and white or in contrasting colors. Now we are watching a video on contrast, so you will understand what that is, and I will talk about it. So once you have drawn your grid, you're going to transfer over your image. Okay, you'll need pencils, colored pencils, markers. Your medium is outline and pencil, and then color with either colored pencils or markers. If you want to keep it black and white, I'm fine with that, but it's not as exciting. And it does show contrast, but it's not as exciting. So I would prefer that you did it in color, but if you want to do it in black and white, just talk with me. So in your packet that I sent home with you guys, you should have a piece of 12-inch by 18-inch paper left. If you do not have a sheet of 12-inch by 18-inch paper, that means that you've been using the wrong size paper. But in order to do this assignment, you need to have the 12-inch by 18-inch paper. So I sent home this document, which if you click on it, it will open it up. And then, so if you don't have this document, you can print it, or you can just look at it on your screen. So now the one I sent home with you actually has an extra box on it. It looks like this. So the one I sent home with you, it looks just like this. When I was making this assignment in a rush to get everything to you guys to the start of school, I miscounted my boxes, human, make mistakes. So this top box here, which is basically his hair, and this bottom box here, which is the part of his neck, you're not going to use, okay? So your image looks just like this, but this top box here and this top row or bottom row boxes here, you're not going to use. So we want it to actually look like this. So here's my example. So this is your original image, and I kind of outlined, do not use this box, do not use this box. If you want to kind of scribble over these boxes, cross them out so you don't get confused, please do so. We only want to focus on these ones, okay? So you notice I removed the top and the bottom one, okay? So please make sure you make marks on that on your paper, okay? And if it helps you to just look at this image, you can do that too. But make sure you cross out this top box and this bottom row of boxes. And that's it. Don't do anything to the sides, just the top and the bottom, okay? So I've already drawn the grid on here for you. On your paper, you're going to label the grid. So you can go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it should be 6 boxes across and 9 boxes down. 6 across, 9 down, okay? So once again, 6 boxes across, 9 boxes down. Make sure you label it 1 through 6, and then your alphabet down. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So it should go down to I. Then what you're going to do is you are going to transfer this image. Now, unlike the Jaguar where you drew all of the spots and the details when you transferred over, what you're going to do with this image is you're not going to worry about like the details of every little like piece of hair and things like that. You're going to focus more on the shadows. So look at where the shadows are. Now I did this in the computer, so it's a way of kind of pulling out the contrast. So it's decent. It's not perfect, but it's decent. So you can see where the main shadows are. So we've got like a highlight here on his cheek, some highlights in his eyes, all right, on his mouth. So yours finish should look very, very similar to this. Maybe not identical, but very similar. So here we have the highlights, which are in white, and the shadows, which are in black, okay? Those are contrasting. Once you have drawn out where all the shadows are, you are then going to pick two contrasting colors, and we'll talk about contrasting colors before you start this, and you are going to color it. So you should only have two colors. So in this one, it's white and black. You can have contrasting colors like yellow and purple. You can have contrasting colors like green and red, things like that. So contrasting colors are colors that are dramatically different. So you want a lot of difference in them. So you don't want to put blue and purple. Like those are way too close together in colors. You don't want to put red and orange too close, too similar. So you want different colors, and we'll talk about that more too. So basically you're going to draw a 2-inch by 2-inch grid on your 12-inch by 18-inch paper. You're going to label that. You're going to label this on your image, and you're going to draw just the shadows, and then you're going to color it. The more detail you get in your shadows, like on his beard and around here and his eyes, kind of the cooler it turns out. All right. So do not just draw some like ugly blobby lines. It still needs to look like a person. It should still look like this when you're done. Okay. And then you're going to color, and then you're finished. So it's a pretty basic, straightforward project, but you will be learning this element, this contrast today. So that's what's really important.